Suprabhatam to you all. In this session today, we will understand about one of the predominant Upanishads, that is S-VYASA Upanishad. S-VYASA Upanishad is a part of the Krishna Yajurveda Samhita. It comes in the 40th chapter of the Krishna Yajurveda Samhita. It contains 18 mantras. These 18 mantras is encompassed by Isha or Ishvara or the Supreme Lord. Then it also says that this Isha or Ishvara has to be attained or realized by each one of us. For this purpose, we have to understand the reality correctly and move away from the unreal objects of the world and the universe. We should be free from the emotions. One can also attain the supreme reality by following the two paths as underlined in the S-VYASA Upanishad. It is the path of action or karma marga and path of knowledge or jnana marga. It further elaborates that one has to understand this Ishvara or the supreme reality which is present in us, which is called in the Upanishad as the individual soul or the Jivatman. This individual soul or Jivatman is also present in all the other objects of the universe, both animate and inanimate. Sri Ramanujacharya in his Upanishad Bhashya says that the soul is present even in inanimate objects, but it has not come into manifestation, but it takes some more time. Any person who understands this soul or the Jivatma, Jiva, the individual, Atma, the soul, which is present within oneself, and that he also realizes that this Jivatma is also present in all the sentient and the non-sentient beings of the world, then he gets realization. Further, the S-VYASA Upanishad says that this one also should understand that what is present in me is present in others, and what is present in others is also present in me. That is, the Atman or the soul which is present in other beings of the world is also present in me. This has to be realized by oneself by following any of the two paths. This is what the sum and substance of the S-VYASA Upanishad. Let us take one or few verses in this session and find out the multi-layered meaning of these mantras as embedded in the S-VYASA Upanishad, or it's also called S-VYASA Upanishad. As the very first mantra denotes, Isha-Vasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjitaha magruda kasya siddhanam. As the very mantra denotes, the purport, the meaning is, all this, whatever it is, which is changeable in the world or unchangeable, is pervaded by the Lord or Ishvara. Enjoy this world with a sense of detachment. Do not covet anybody's wealth. This is the gist of this first mantra of the S-VYASA Upanishad. Mahatma Gandhi was highly inspired and impacted by this S-VYASA Upanishad and elsewhere in his works, says that this one verse of the S-VYASA is enough for us to learn for the entire life. He also further says that this verse of the S-VYASA can also become the essence of all the 10 major Upanishads, Kena, Isha, Kena, Kata, Prashna, Munda, Mandukya, Tittiri, Aitareya, Chandogya, and Bruhadaranyaka. He is very much fascinated by this catchy phrase in this first mantra, Magridaha Kasya Siddhanam. Do not covet others' wealth. And also, he says, Tena Tyaktena Bunjitaha, which speaks of detachment and anasakti yoga elaborated by Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. To engage in action, but not to be attached to the action, be disinterested in your action. So this is what fascinated Mahatma Gandhi. Actually, this verse clearly mentions that the entire universe with all its animate and inanimate beings is none other than that the creation of the Supreme Reality. And the entire universe is covered by this Supreme Reality. Hence, one has to realize this. Then, what about this world, the physical world, which is nothing but a duality where we are experiencing day in and day out, how to be in this world? It is clearly mentioned that we have to be in this world, but enjoy the world without any attachment. Because in the next verse it mentions, Na karma lipyate nare. If you are not attached to the action, if you are not having any attachment or desire towards the actions you perform, you will not be tainted with the actions, you will not be attached and also with the effects of such actions. So, it is said that you have every right to enjoy this world in a clear way, in a sane way, without being attached. In fact, Shankaracharya in his Bhajagovinda Stotram very clearly elaborates, Yallabhase nija karmopattam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. Whatever you earn by your own efforts, individual efforts, honestly and sincerely, you have the right to enjoy that money. But that money should come to you not by way of cheating and deceiving others, but it should come by your own efforts. So you have the right to enjoy that wealth in whatever the way, the right way, the same way in which you want. Then further, it says that Magridaha Kasya Siddhanam. Do not be greedy. So if greed happens, if the greed sets foot in the mind, all the calamity begins, series of calamity begins which results in the downfall of a person. So one should be away from the greed. So the greed will drive away to misery and it will drive away another person towards depression and sorrow and whatnot. Hence, Valmiki, through the mouth of Rama said, Lobha papasya karanam. Lobha or greed is the karanam, the cause for papa, all sorts of sins. So we should be free from the greedy nature, but we should work sincerely and honestly as prompted by our self-conscience, which is called as Manasakshi by the Upanishads. And it further says that Tena Tyaktena Bunjitaha means whatever you enjoy has already been enjoyed and already has been seen by the Supreme Reality. So you enjoy and experience it without getting attached. In the next verse, in another verse, it says, Kurvan neveha karmani jijivishet shatam samaha evam tvai nanyatheto asti na karma lipyate nare. Means one should desire to live for 100 years just performing actions or which are an accessory to our upasanas or meditation. For an aspirant like you, there is no other way, because karma will not cling to a person who is the knower of supreme reality or Brahman. So in this verse, the Upanishadic sage heralds that we should not be lazy. We should not sit idle, because an idle man's mind is a devil's workshop. So we should be always engaged and engrossed in one other activity which we have assigned for ourselves, which may be nitya karma, nainitika karma, kamya karma or nishkama karma, as elaborated in the Dharma Sutras. So you can engage in any of these actions, but we should not keep quiet even for a moment, even for a second. We should be engaged in any of these actions except the sleeping hours, whatever it may be, 4 hours or 5 hours or 6 hours or whatever the hours of your sleep may be. Barring that, we should be engaged and engrossed in our actions, because that is the way you are going to attain, and we have to engage joyfully, happily, as elaborated in the Yajurveda mantra 32 to 34. Nandama Sharadashatam, Jivema Sharadashatam, Prabhruvama Sharadashatam, Modama Sharadashatam, etc. In the sense, Yajurveda is declaring that we should live for 100 autumnal seasons joyfully, not miserably, not causing misery to others, not causing dukkha, unhappiness and shoka, sorrow to others, or deceiving others. We should live happily, joyfully and comfortably. Jivema Sharadashatam. Let us live for 100 years, 100 autumnal season. Modama Sharadashatam. Joyfully we should live. So that should be our spirit, that should be our aim and objective, to engage and engross in one or the other action which we have assigned for ourselves, and be happy in performing that work without grumbling. A daughter-in-law grumbles against the mother-in-law, or mother-in-law always grumbles against the daughter-in-law that she has not performed the work, she has not done the work rightly. The superior bosses will always grumble or complain against their junior bosses or the people that these people are not engaging in right action. So that grumbling should be avoided. We should take that work as devotion to the Lord and submit the fruits at the lotus feet of the Lord. This is what the second verse of the S-VYASA Upanishad says. Further, tadechati tatraijati taddure tadvantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bhahyataha. This verse looks like a riddle. That moves and that does not move. That is far off and that is near. That is inside all of us, and that itself is verily outside of this. This verse, although very small in nature, appears to be like a riddle or a samasya unless you understand the meanings correctly and the multi-layered meanings correctly. Here, the nature of the Parabrahman or the Supreme Reality is given. This Parabrahman or the Supreme Reality is present all over the world, within ourselves and within and it encompasses the entire universe. Therefore, it is called Brahma. Bruhati tasmad uchyate iti Brahma. That which expands, encompasses the entire universe. Therefore, it is called Brahma, which the modern physicists such as Gamit Goswami calls as quantum consciousness or universal consciousness, as called by Shankara in his works. So this encompassing consciousness, the Supreme Reality, is present everywhere, and it is present within us. But we are unable to realize, owing to the veil of Maya and Avidya and Ajnana. It is owing to the veil of ajnana or ignorance, we are unable to understand among ourselves. At the same time, owing to the maya which is operated or being operated at the global level, people are unaware of this supreme consciousness, and therefore the strife, the fight and the wars occur all over the world because they have failed to understand, the people of the world have failed to understand that this light is pervading in all of them. Hence, this Parabrahman is within us, but for a people who has not realized, it is far away. One cannot understand it very easily because it is quite far, difficult to be attained. But for a person who understands it through any of these paths, it becomes quite easy for him. And that itself is present within us, as told by Swami Vivekananda, each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity by controlling nature, external or internal. So this internal Brahman or the supreme reality covered, under the veil of the five jnanendriyas, the five karmendriyas, the manas, buddhi, ahankara has to be understood correctly for our own self-realization. This is what another mantra of the S-VYASA tells. Further, it gives one more definition and nature of the Parabrahman or the ultimate reality in another mantra. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyevanu pashyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tato na vijugupsate. Means, he who sees all entities, animate, inanimate, sentient or non-sentient, whatever it may be, in the Supreme Self itself, and that Supreme Self in all entities of the world does not abuse anyone. We start abusing or blaming people, we start grumbling against other people, or we engage in fight against other people when we don't understand the real nature of the other, the real nature of the other persons and their original nature, which is nothing but absolute consciousness as elaborated in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This Brahma or Supreme Reality is of absolute truth, absolute knowledge and absolute bliss or enjoyment. So once a person understands this real nature of a person, then he has understood the spark of divinity in the other person, irrespective of the gender or the people. Then why this blame game has to occur, as we see every day in our newspapers, where people in the daily chronicles engaging in mudslinging business, blaming others, blaming the parties, blaming all of them, so just for the sake of their own survival. So further, this also says in another words the nature of the Parabrahman thus: Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaivad bhut vijanatah tatra ko mohaha kashokaha ekatvam anuvashyatah. Means, when at the time of you engaging in meditation, for him, the knower of the Supreme Self, Ajnani, all entities are the objects and the subjects, very are the Supreme Self only. And by virtue of this understanding, for him, he sees the oneness of the Self everywhere. To such a person, what is delusion or what is sorrow? How can he experience either the moha, delusion, or shoka, or the sorrow? S-VYASA Upanishad elaborates about shoka and moha in these words. Why does moha or delusion occurs? So between a boy and a girl, between a man and a woman, between an object and a person. So it is because of lack of sense of discretion or discrimination. It is because of blind passion. This blind passion will cover our buddhi, which covers our intelligence, so that we are carried away by this passion and drive away ourselves into misery. So we have to understand the cause of this moha. Further, shoka or dukkha. Dukkha is the general unhappiness. So elsewhere, in one of his works, Swami Vivekananda distinguishes a very subtle difference between dukkha and shoka. Dukkha is unhappiness. So you work very well for the whole 1 year for the examination. You have taken notes wonderfully. You have attended all classes. You have written very well in the exam, and you expect the first rank, that you will be the topper of the class. Unfortunately, you will become second or third. But you will not be sorrowful at the time. You will be only unhappy. Whereas shoka or sorrow or melancholy occurs as a result of the losing of the near and the dear, the inmates of the family. That is the shoka. So we have to understand why this moha and shoka occurs. It was very well elaborated by Swami Gambhirananda in his explanations, where he says desire is the cause for moha and shoka. Kama or desire. This desire is the seed which breeds or sows the moha, the passion, and shoka, moha, the delusion and the passion, and shoka, the sorrow. So one has to remove this seed of desire from our mind. So when such a thing happens, we will not be affected with these two. Then the Supreme Reality shines in its all splendor, for which we should get the right knowledge as elaborated in the another mantra, vidya cha avidyam cha yaste vada ubhayam saha avidyaya mrutyum tirtva vidyaya mrudamashnute. It says, as elaborated in the Mundaka Upanishad, dve vidye veditavye pare aparecha. The two types of knowledge has to be understood by us, the foundational knowledge called the apara vidya and the philosophical knowledge called the para vidya. So having understood the foundational knowledge, having understood the foundations, we should proceed to the supreme knowledge or the para vidya. So vidya and avidya. Here, vidya is the supreme knowledge, the ultimate knowledge, and this is the upasana, and avidya here refers to not the ignorance, but it is the karma. So the karma will lead us to vidya. Karma, all our actions will lead us towards vidya and upasana, so that we have to understand. By engaging and engrossing in our actions which we have assigned ourselves, nobody has thrusted the action upon you. You have chosen the action for yourself, and you have chosen the profession for yourself, and that profession you have to do it correctly, honestly, sincerely, without cheating our self-conscience. So when you engage in this path of action and perform the duties as a husband, as a scholar, as a student, as a son, or as a daughter, or whoever, or a daughter-in-law, or whoever it may be, having completed this action, having performed this action without being attached to these fruits of action, you will not be tainted with the action, na karma lipyate nare. Then you will transcend this death. So we will go beyond this cycle of birth and death, and we will attain immortality from which there is no return at all. It may happen in this life, or it may take several lives, depending upon the actions we have done in our previous lives, actions we have done in our past life, which has come as a hereditary succession through the vasanas or the mental impressions, like a negative roll of a film camera. Further, the last one. Agne naya suvatharaye asman vishwani deva vayunani vidvan yuyodhyam asmad juhrano mano bhuishtam te nama uktim vidhema. So this is an extension of the Vedic words given in the S-VYASA Upanishad. What is the meaning? Here the Agni, or the energy, is praised. O Agni, the supreme Agni who has the fire as his body, lead us through this auspicious path to wealth. O God, you are the knower of all knowledge. Relieve us from the crooked sin which will bring us the downfall. We offer you many words of salutation, Nama Uktim Vidhema, with the word Namaha. So, here the Upanishadic seer is only reflecting what was elaborated in the Vedic hymns, especially the Rigvedic hymns, where the burning fire, the energy which is present outside, which is present within us as the light, is the supreme reality of the universe. This light which is present in us, as elaborated in the Gayatri Mantra, Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. So that light which is existing in our heart should be motivated, should be channelized, should be realized. The same is found outside in the form of various energies called tejas. This tejas is maybe any sort of energy, solar energy, wind energy, nuclear energy, cosmic energy, supreme consciousness or energy. The same energy was called Taijasa in the Mandukya Upanishad. Teja Sambandhi Taijasa, which you experience during your dream state every day. So that Agni, or the fire, the immanent fire which is pervading all over the world, has to be experienced and realized by us, which is covered by a golden vessel, which elaborated in the next verse, Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasyapi Hitam Sukham Tattvam Bhushan Apavrunu Satya Dharmaya Drishyate. That the face of the truth, the mind of the truth, that is the final truth, is the Jivatman which is present in us, is covered by the golden vessel. The golden vessel appears to be fascinating, and you have an affinity towards the gold, that is either rajas or passion or delusion. That has to be removed. That passion from our mind has to be removed, and which we should uncover our mind for the sake of realizing that Brahman, which is the function or the dharma of the jiva, which is the ultimate satya. So that way the S-VYASA Upanishad in its just 18 verses has elaborated the entire essence of all the Upanishads, and it is interesting that by understanding the meaning of these Upanishads and trying to practice the precepts given in these Upanishads and the sadhanas given for attainment, such as the path of action and the path of jnana, we are able to attain the self-realization or sakshatkar. Om Tat Sat.
Shanti mantra altogether. Om